Okay, let's unpack this. We often think of aging as, just the number on our driver's license.
Chronological age. Simple.
Right. You turn 50, you are 50. End of story. But if you've ever looked at two people the exact same age,
Oh, yeah.
and one is, say, running marathons, and the other is struggling to climb a flight of stairs, you know that definition is, well, it's completely useless when you're talking about actual health.
Or resilience or just function.
Exactly.
Right.
Our source materials suggests that aging is not one thing, not one number, and certainly not just one predictable process.
It's more like you're carrying around 6 different passports.
That's a great way to put it. Each one telling a totally different story about your body's operational status.
Mm-hmm.
So today's deep dive is going to be a tour through those 6 ages of health, but we're really going to zoom in on the one that is arguably the most honest and, useful metric for real-world living.
Functional age.
Functional age.
And what's so fascinating here is that while a lot of these metrics promise longevity,
Living a long time.
functional age delivers practical longevity. It's the metric that truly predicts your independence, your mobility, your real-world capability.
So it's not just about how long you might live based on some cellular marker.
Not at all. This is about your operational status right now, your ability to do daily tasks and live independently at home.
Which in the research world, they call dweller status, right?
They do. It sounds a bit clinical, but it's a powerful idea.
Yeah, that concept of dweller status is so important, and we'll circle back to it. But first, let's start with the one we all know.
Chronological age.
It's fantastic for knowing when to buy a birthday cake.
And for tax purposes.
And that's about it. Beyond that, it tells us almost nothing about our physical resilience or our energy levels.
Precisely. If chronological age actually predicted physical function, every 70-year-old would move in the exact same way.
Same walking speed, same balance, everything.
Everything. The same power when standing up. But we all know from just looking around that they absolutely do not.
The difference is huge.
The variance is enormous, and that variance is driven by those other 5 ages.
Okay, so that brings us to the next 4, and these are the specialized, high-tech ones.
Right. They're valuable, scientifically profound, but they come with a high barrier to entry.
So let's just briefly define them so we understand the whole landscape we're navigating here.
Absolutely. Think of these as the deep biological diagnostics. You're not tracking these daily.
No.
First up, we have epigenetic age.
Okay.
This doesn't look at your DNA code itself, but how your environment and lifestyle, so your sleep, food, stress levels, have epigenetically changed the volume knobs on your genes.
So it's about how your genes are being expressed.
Exactly. And this requires specialized blood or saliva testing. It can cost hundreds, even thousands of dollars, and takes weeks for a result. It's a snapshot.
Just one moment in time.
Right. Then there's metabolic age. This one's calculated from a big panel of markers like blood sugar regulation, fat distribution, cardiovascular health.
Things your doctor might test for.
Yes, your overall metabolic efficiency. It's critical info. But again, you're probably checking this annually, not continuously.
Okay, so moving up the body, we have brain age.
Mm-hmm.
This is assessed through clinical evaluations of memory, attention, reaction time, processing speed.
Yeah, it's crucial for cognitive resilience. But most of these tests require a specific clinical setting or, a very controlled digital environment. They're hard to standardize for just everyday use.
Right. And the last one of this group.
The last of the specialized 4 is immune age. This reflects how resilient and responsive your immune system is.
Your internal defenses.
Your internal defenses, yeah. And that often requires advanced biomarker analysis of T cells and inflammatory markers. So all 4 of these, epigenetic, metabolic, brain, and immune, they give us these incredible snapshots.
But they're snapshots.
They're snapshots. And the cost, the time, the clinical setting, it just makes them inaccessible for monitoring the day-to-day changes that really define our actual lives.
And here's where it gets really interesting for me, because this brings us to that 6th age.
Functional age.
It's the necessary bridge. It defines how well you actually move in the real world, no matter what your expensive epigenetic clock might be saying.
That's the key distinction. If the other ages tell you why you might be aging a certain way.
Functional age tells you how well you are aging right now today.
Exactly. It's the age your body truly lives in. It sidesteps all the complexity of labs and blood draws, and it answers the single most important practical question for independence.
Which is?
How well am I functioning as a human being right now in my own environment?
And this isn't just a feeling, right? It's not subjective. Functional age is calculated from practical, observable metrics.
Correct. Metrics that directly relate to your independence and how you manage your energy.
So we're talking about things like Step length, which sounds simple but is apparently super informative.
Very informative.
Yeah.
Also, your specific walking speed, your balance stability, the physical power you generate when you move,
Your general mobility, coordination.
and even how quickly you fatigue during movement and how fast you recover from it.
These are the metrics of true independence.
They really are. Let's make that dweller status idea really concrete for you. It depends entirely on these practical abilities. Your functional age predicts whether you can confidently and safely do the tasks that are essential for staying in your home.
Which is what most people say they want as they get older.
It's the top priority for almost everyone.
So give us some vivid examples. What does a high or low functional age actually predict in the real world?
Okay, think about mobility challenges. Functional age determines, can you navigate stairs safely, and not just once, but repeatedly through the day?
Mm-hmm.
Can you step over a high curb without, shifting your balance in a dangerous way?
That's a big one.
And here's a critical one. Can you walk fast enough to cross a busy street before the light changes?
Wow.
Researchers have established clear speed thresholds for this. If your gait speed drops below a certain point, your risk of a traffic incident goes way, way up.
That street crossing threshold is incredible because it moves the focus from how fast can I walk on a treadmill in a gym
To, am I fast enough to navigate the environment I actually live in?
Yeah.
Exactly. And it also determines simpler actions that are just crucial for independence. Like, can you get out of a low, soft chair
Or off the sofa.
without having to push off with your hands?
Yeah.
That relates directly to lower body power, which is a major component of function.
And I imagine balance is a huge part of this too.
A massive part. Can you maintain balance on uneven ground? A sidewalk crack, a slightly angled path, a slippery rug?
Yeah.
Can you navigate that without a constant fear of falling?
These are the real metrics of living an independent life.
They are.
So that brings us to a key insight from the source material, and it's so important for anyone who wants to use this kind of data. It's the flaw of using single markers.
Right.
We've spent decades trying to use just one easy measurement, like walking speed alone or maybe grip strength, and the research shows it's just not enough.
It gives you a snapshot, not the whole story.
But if gait speed is such a powerful predictor, why do we need all these other things like step length and power? Isn't speed enough?
That's a great question, and it really gets to the heart of this deep dive. While gait speed is a massive predictor, it only tells you the average.
The average.
It completely misses the factor of consistency and variability.
What do you mean by that?
Well, you might have a good average walking speed, but if your step length is highly inconsistent, so one step is short, the next is long, the third one is kind of wobbly.
I see.
That inconsistency, that high variability, it suggests an underlying neurological instability or fatigue. And that significantly elevates your risk of tripping.
So it's not how fast you go, but how you go fast.
That's a perfect way to say it.
Yeah.
A single measurement is like measuring the average speed of a car. You might average 60 miles per hour, but if your car stalls every 2 minutes, that average speed is pretty dangerous and misleading.
Right. It's not a reliable car.
Functional ability is multidimensional. The true functional age lives in the combination of gait mechanics, stability, variability, reaction time, power, in your unique fatigue patterns. If you only measure one part, you miss the crucial interplay between all the systems that are working to keep you safe and upright.
That distinction between average performance and consistent function, that's
Yeah.
so important. A test in a clinic would probably miss that high variability,
It almost certainly would.
which is the real danger lurking in the messiness of just daily life. And that leads us perfectly into the next challenge, which is how we measure this stuff. Functional testing used to work like this. You'd go to a clinic, you'd walk a short path, you'd do a stand-to-sit test, and you'd know you were being watched.
So naturally, you try your absolute best.
Your absolute best.
That's right. And that environment often leads to what researchers call the Hawthorne effect. Just knowing you're being watched changes your behavior.
Right.
It gives researchers a snapshot of your optimized performance, your sort of peak capacity moment.
But if we connect this to the bigger picture, peak capacity is not what determines your independence.
Not at all. Your independence is determined by your function when you're tired, when you're distracted, when you're carrying groceries, or walking on uneven ground.
The whole messy picture of your daily routine, it's the difference between measuring a lion in a cage and measuring a lion on the savannah.
Exactly. We need the savannah data, and we are now in the first era where functional age can be measured continuously, accurately, and automatically outside of a clinical setting.
So it's not a one-time expensive thing once a year.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
We can measure all these crucial functional markers all day long in real life when you're just doing laundry or walking to the mailbox.
And this continuous monitoring is the technological leap that makes functional age so actionable. Our sources highlight systems that use this continuous data to distill all those complex metrics into one simple, usable signal.
The beauty of this approach is really in the synthesis. It takes all these highly technical metrics, like the subtle asymmetry between your left and right leg, the precise step length and variability, your balance behavior,
Your power output.
your lower body power output, exactly, along with how long it takes you to recover from exertion. And it synthesizes them into one number or one signal.
That signal is your functional age.
That signal is your functional age. This isn't hiding the complexity. It's making complex data useful.
It's like the translation layer. It takes the noise of dozens of complex measurements and just gives you a simple instruction. Your functional age is 58, but last week it was 55. What changed?
It is your personalized health GPS. This 21st century metric, it adapts instantaneously. It reflects how your function is being affected by a bad night's sleep, by a high-stress day, by the early stage of an illness.
Or by a new workout routine working well.
Or by the effectiveness of your new training, yes. By tracking this continuously, you gain an early warning system. If your function is dipping, that system tells you before you suffer a fall, or before you even realize you're getting sick or overly fatigued.
So what does this all mean for you, the listener? Functional age. It really seems like the best starting point when you begin to look at your overall health.
Because it's the most accessible and the most actionable.
And unlike your birth date.
Which you can't change.
Yeah.
Functional age is the one age you can actually change through conscious effort and activity. You can see it improving in how you move, and you can influence it through consistent movement and lifestyle adjustments.
It also acts as a kind of funnel.
The perfect funnel. If your functional age begins to accelerate rapidly, meaning your body is functioning much older than it should, that's the signal.
The alarm bell?
That's the alarm bell telling you that you should immediately dig deeper into those other more complex age markers. Look at your metabolic age, your immune age, and find the underlying cause.
That's the power of it. It moves from being this abstract concept to a daily dashboard. It empowers you to take action long before the consequences become severe. So as you move through your week, we'd encourage you to consider your own dweller status. What's the one practical ability? Is it climbing stairs while carrying laundry? Is it carrying heavy groceries into the house? Or maybe walking up a long hill? What one thing defines your current independence?
Like a great question to ask yourself.
And how might monitoring your real-world movement variability, the consistency of your function, change your approach to health and physical activity this week? Maybe think less about the fixed number on your license and a little more about how honestly and consistently your body is moving through the world today.